Greetings from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Monday, December 19, 2022. For those of you who celebrate, Santa's getting his sleigh revved and tuned and ready to rock. Well, while he's doing that, we're doing this, and our 1950 22-foot Shepherd Runabout has a true 5200 bottom fully installed. We have yet to do the Danenberg pre-soak. What's that, you ask? Well, in a couple of days, once we've finished fairing the bottom, making it nice and flat and smooth, we will be wetting it down, literally, with a garden hose. I mean wet, like swimming pool wet, and then covering it with a very thin sheet of plastic sheeting. You know, the super cheap drop cloths that we buy at hardware stores. As you can see, in the process of putting on the 5200 bottom and testing hull side planks and transom planks for rot, well, sorry to say, but we found a lot. A lot of this rot down here, low on port, and if we walk around, and the intriguing thing is, it's almost identical on starboard. Why? Well, if you remember several videos ago, we reported that the spray rails had been installed in a stupid infantile manner that allowed water to seep behind them. And in the process, they rotted this board, and then, of course, this is below the waterline here. And that will be painted, and that was protected, except that the chines on both sides were just literally gone. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. They were gone. You'll see on the transom, we've replaced 2 planks. We saved the very bottom plank. Yes, I know. There's a bunch of open holes in the bottom and these below waterline planks. These will all be filled and faired with 3M premium marine filler. Please do not do what one of you just suggested. Why can't I just use Sikaflex down there? I'll tell you why. It'll wash out. You get a bunch of dimples in the thing. It'll look like hell. It won't protect the boat. But other than that, go for it. Have fun. Now, when we do replace planks, we use bungs that we cut ourselves. It's a simple bung cutter and a drill press. And it's unfortunately really boring. But the result is, since all of these bungs have been cut from waste material taken off the boat here, they're not only the same species of wood, they're the same age as the other wood. Now you're going to ask me, why do we see it look like it has chicken pox? Well, one of our tasks, and I strongly urge everybody to do this, a bung like this looks, and that's one we haven't replaced, and that was one we haven't replaced. They look so nice and tight. And maybe they are. And maybe also a 1950 boat is 72 years old. So maybe this has been sanded how many times? Maybe 10, right? Every 7 years. Would that make sense? And what happens is the bung gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And so we go around with a very sharp pick or in this case, all we needed was a fingernail. Reach in and flick out the bungs. Just flick them out. And all we got were, it's kind of silly to say it, wafer-thin wafers. I mean, I'm talking microscopically thin, thinner than, in some cases, a 32nd. They look nice, and we could stain them and varnish them, and for about 6 months, you'd think, wow, isn't that pretty? And then they'd start popping. So from here up, everything will be filled with 3M 5200. Rick is spending today sanding the bottom surfaces fair, and then we will do the pre-soak, after which we will seal all the countersinks with 3M 5200, I'm sorry, with clear penetrating epoxy sealer, and then 3M premium marine filler, and that means sand it fair once again, and then and only then will we apply 4 coats of Smiths. Remember, never anything else, only Smiths. Sure, you can spend less, but in fact you're spending multiple times more. You don't want to spend multiple times more. Why multiple times more? Because this stuff, first of all, is going to destroy your work, and secondly, it doesn't work. So you've spent all of this money and all that time for less than naught. I had one fellow call me up and just as exasperated as he could be. All I've got is a gooey mess. And I said, aha, you don't have Smiths, do you? I didn't want to spend that money. Now guess what? You not only have to somehow undo your miserable decision, you got to buy Smiths. So why not buy it the first time? Make it right, make it work. So once we've sealed it, the next step is to apply 5 coats of Interlux, Interprotect, 2-part epoxy barrier coat, 2000E, not 2 coats. Somebody wrote me and said, is it okay? What I decided to do to save a little time was I only put 2 coats on, but they were really, really thick coats. That should be fine. Shouldn't it? No, that should be awful. You've just wasted. Well, check it out. See what Jamestown charges for a gallon of 2000E, and ask yourself, do I want to waste all that money or do I want to do it correctly? Correctly is 5 coats, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 coats of 2000E. We vary between gray and white. We start with gray, and that means we end with gray, and gray is much easier to cover than white is. So why don't we just use gray all the time? Because using gray all the time means you'll never see your holidays. So we switch between gray and white and gray and white. And as my wife hates me to say, trust me, the holidays will jump right out at you. So with that, we thank you for another great year. Look forward to the next one. And we'll be back to you with another update on our 1950 22-foot Shepherd Runabout. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boat Works.